If you're planning a launch and you feel like there are a million moving pieces, the content, the emails, your product, the website, your sales page, it can get really overwhelming fast. And that's exactly why I always recommend planning your launch inside of a project management tool like Asana. So today I'm going to walk you through exactly how we prep for launches inside of Asana using our launch planning template board. So that way, once time comes to launch, everything is organized and ready to go. So today I'm going to show you how we organize a launch inside of Asana so that way you can plan your offer, launch timeline, your content, and all of the tasks leading up to launch day. Because the goal is that when it's time to actually launch, you're not scrambling. You already know exactly what needs to be happening. So let's walk through the board. One of my favorite lists on this board is the launch planning list right here. This list is where we outline the big picture details for the launch. So inside the list, we map out things like what is the offer? Who's the offer for? Why do they need it? What is the price? What does the success standard look like for this launch? We also include things like the overall launch timeline. Who is responsible for what in any areas where you may need that extra help? This section acts like a strategy hub for the launch. So that way everyone is on the same page and understands the goal before you start creating content or even building the assets. So I always recommend starting with these details first so that way you can really plan out what's the product, who's it for, why do they need it, what's the overall launch timeline going to be, what are the pricing, what's your success standard, what's the good, better, best scenario so that way you and your team have those goals. Who's doing what? Do you have a team? Will some people be doing other things? Do you need help with things? This is just a really good list to really zero in with that big picture planning hat on and really get all the details out for the launch. The next list is our list called the lean in to-dos. So these are the tasks that happens 4 to 6 weeks before the launch. This is the phase where you're preparing everything you need for the product and the launch itself. So for example, inside the section, you might see tasks like outline the product, create templates or resources, record training videos, set up the product inside of your shop or set up checkout platforms, plan launch content. You can also add like consumption delivery emails after they purchase. You can do a lot of this well before the launch, that 4 to 6 week timeline. So that way, again, once launch timeline comes, you're not having to do all these things before. So it's super helpful. For example, here's to create launch product, and you can even build it out if you have multiple products. So for each product, you'll have to outline the product, create the templates, record the videos, add the copy to the modules, like do all the things. So that way, the more you have of this already prepped out and built out, and you can even assign who will be doing what. So say maybe you are going to outline the product, you can assign yourself, you can assign a due date, and then maybe you will outline the product, but maybe somebody else will take that and put it into your platform host. So you can really assign people who will be doing what when the due dates are due and really can zero in on this timeline. I love this so much because this phase is all about building the foundation for the launch. By the time you finish your lean in phase, your product should be created and ready to sell. Next, we have your pre-launch to-dos. So this is typically about 1 week before your launch officially opens. So these tasks are focused on getting everything ready for opening day. So examples, tasks inside of this section might look like finalizing website or sales page, scheduling your launch emails, double checking checkout links, everything's working. If you have any zaps set up, make sure those are firing correctly. Preparing for your open day content, go ahead and batch your reels. Go ahead and start creating your stories. Go ahead and get that ready. So again, once launch day comes, you're not having to scramble and do all the things. You can literally just promote and let the sale happen. So think of this stage as the final checks before go time. This ensures that when launch day arrives, everything is already set up and working well. This next section is for opening day tasks, so launch to-dos. This is where you outline exactly what needs to happen when launch officially begins. So example could be like announcing the launch, sending your opening pitch emails, posting on social media, monitoring sales engagements. Maybe on your website you have to turn on banners, you have to add like checkouts in certain places on the shop. Like definitely go ahead and add all the things you have to do before the sale. So again, that way launch day comes, you can go ahead, work through, you can add announcement banners, you can post everywhere, you can have your launch emails going out, like everything is already prepped for you. So this is super helpful. Having these tasks mapped out helps ensure nothing gets missed during the excitement of launch day. Now, if you're using an upgraded version of Asana, you can also set up automations as part of the workflow. So, for example, you could set rules that actually move tasks automatically. You can assign tasks to different team members or create dependencies between different tasks. So, you can do a lot of things inside of Asana to help automate this board. But even if you're using the free version, simply organizing your launch into these phases can make a huge difference in how smooth the process actually feels. So, just to recap, inside of our launch planning board, we organize the launch into clear phases. First, we define the strategy, we get all the details for the launch. Then, we move into the lean in phase where we start building the product, preparing all the assets. Then, we go into our pre launch phase where we start getting everything ready for launch week. And then, finally, we outline exactly what needs to happen on opening day. The structure helps everyone stay on the same page and makes launches so much easier. And if you want help setting up systems like this for your business, our team specializes in building project management workflows inside of Asana and Trello that helps businesses stay organized and run more efficiently. So if you'd like this kind of support creating systems in your business, click the link below and apply to work with the agency. We would love to help you inside of Asana. Thank you so much. Bye.